This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Sports and an Yeboah. The Black Stars of Ghana and Austria our match. Namiadoma Friday. The next week, Yane Germany. Now, the sports writer Kwabena Yeboah, Akomu Bibi or Austria, she said, "Mama, se Ghana, I see football nation. ABC ne yini bi Ghana." Austria, they say Vienna Honoma or more. Crooked to you, any people who crown do 3 million, we say. And so, or more pitches, to say, I say, or more pram no. Ye pram not say, or at a tap some no more pram no, or more pitches base 6 to 7. Oh, even more. Now, Ghana already na players no, or news at say, Kwabena Yeboah, my great update from Austria na yentino
kakrai time no et say game na nkasa ebre bebo no e wo ho ne Ghana no
Ghana 1 hour behind us, so 5 p.m. here, and I'll confirm at the time. I don't want to mislead you, okay. But around 5 p.m., which will be like 4 in Ghana. Okay. That is on Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday. I think the conditions will be fine. I mean, around that.
Okay. Right now, Austria, to say, enkomo koso se mu pia bontia amount for game ne ho asema, especially a preparation game. The last but one game for their national team before so mobile call the World Cup no. Say na euphoria ni city or Austria or more kan ho asem.
The truth of the matter is that Austria is a very, very quiet country. I told you the other time that the entire country, a population of under 10 million, 9 something million people. The Vienna, which is the capital of the country, has a population of 2.9 million. So it's a quiet, so you don't see that buzz around the city as you would expect if the game was being played in Ghana. I'm sure by now all radio stations are talking about this particular match. Having said that, our feedback is that tickets are already sold out. If the feedback I'm getting right, that the tickets are sold out. So it is not something that you see in the city with flags flying all over the place and everybody talking about the match. We've had a few visits from some of the Austrians, visits from their FA. And let me put it on record. We've been extremely courteous. The FA have been very, very gentlemanly, treating the team the way you expect the team to be treated with such decorum, with such reverence. So everything is on course. But you don't see that kind of buzz around. Probably, for example, if the game was being played in London, for instance, with the kind of passion that they have for the game of football, you would see a number of fans already wearing this, talking about it. The newspapers flooded with the match. It is not the same from what I have witnessed. That is not to say that the game would be well patronized. I think it will be very, very well patronized, but you don't see that buzz.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that at least on the day, the number will be there and the stadium will close. I'm confident about that.
Mm. Right, okay, says information I got on the corrector. Or to say is sold out. Say in Sapel Stadium or the there's over 50,000 capacity. I am.
That is the information I'm gathering.
Wow.
Let me say, I've not spoken to the FM representative who has been with the team.
Okay.
The information I gathered was from one of the fans who visited us in camp, who told us that already tickets were sold out.
Okay.
I do not want to put anything that I cannot really authenticate. That is the way we do our job.
Yeah.
Something I cannot authenticate. I don't want to endorse that. God willing, tomorrow I'll have the opportunity of speaking to the every member with the team, and I think I can give you a definitive answer as to how many tickets have been sold so far, and how many fans we expect at the stadium. But you should know that Austrians love their football; they love their football team, and especially since this is a World Cup preparatory match, you would expect that they will give it all the attention, and they have so much respect for the players.
Yeah.
After the draw, especially because Ghana was drawn against England, already a lot of people know Ghana, but because they were drawn against England, everybody is talking about the Ghana-England game, and Ghana has become a topical subject on the list of football fans around the world. So there is so much respect for the Ghana team, and again, for what Antoine Semenyo is doing at City, it's become a household name around the world. And in Austria, everybody is talking about Antoine Semenyo. So I'm confident that they're giving the match all the seriousness that it is. A lot of people will come to the stadium. I don't think they're taking this match lightly at all. This is a World Cup friendly, a build-up to the World Cup. And there is a way these matches boost the confidence of the players. And that is why some of them don't take it lightly at all. So they are giving it all the attention and all the seriousness that it deserves. I'm very confident of that. But let me quickly say that our team, today's training session, was not as intensive as what happened yesterday. I'm not too sure what is going to happen tomorrow, but today was about set pieces. And if you see the marriage and the confidence and the telepathy between the coaches, indeed, when a number of coaches were added to the technical team to work with Boadu, I asked a few questions about the numbers, and I was questioning who carried that out by now. And but today I had a clear view of why these technical men were added to the team and the kind of respect they have for each other. So, for example, they have two of those technical people who are experts in statistics. So this evening, they spent all the time about set pieces. And then there is another coach who has been deployed for defensive duties. So the first 20 minutes or so of the training session today, one of the coaches took them through defensive drills. And then after that, the other two from Belgium took them through set pieces. They spent a lot of time on set pieces. Before that, for the warm-up, there are also two technical people from England who took them through the physical drills. So it's an amazing combination. When you don't see that kind of friction, Otto understands clearly that clarity of thought as to what everybody has to do on the field of play. And so there's no friction at all. We do know Otto is the head coach, but everybody knows precisely what to do on the field of play. So this evening was basically about set pieces and defensive drills.
Okay. And that's a set pieces. No, say say about a part of the game because we had the likes of Manchester United, and Arsenal, the likes of Nicola Jova, ne Andrea Johnson, nyina no ababe wram as coaches boanti the understanding keke kra say who say set pieces in so a part of the game. I think they're right going forward no boy in World Cup.
Absolutely. I mean,
free kick near there.
Absolutely. You hit the nail. Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head because Austria team is a Arsenal, for instance. If you take the number of goals they've scored from set pieces, if you tell the importance of set pieces, and set pieces become more relevant and important against the backdrop that the game has become so compact that scoring goals through open play sometimes become very difficult. a lot of teams have practiced defensive systems so much that it is always very difficult scoring goals in normal play. So when I say normal play, like so set pieces become very, very, very important. And I guess it's the reason we have 2-3 experts in that arena. And today we saw a lot of I was amazed as I watched the set pieces training sessions.
Okay.
And I saw that with one who was taking a lot of the kicks, and he had means of communicating with his attackers, and I was really, really thrilled.
Okay.
I never knew to go through drills, and so it'd been amazing. But I want to believe that tomorrow they'll have the last training session.
Okay.
Not too sure what is going to what they're going to do tomorrow. They've tagged to the hotel, had their dinner, and they will retire to their room. So everybody is resting as we speak.
Okay. Right. But 3 experts, such pieces, and I think that you will more or be making sure say ye effective and will be so making sure ye defend it. And I say just to effect the kicking one.
But in my earlier submission, I explained that the first 20 minutes, one of those experts took them through the defensive drills.
Great.
Regarding how to defend those set pieces, the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Before the 2 others took them through the offensive drills. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think there's total clarity. And what I really admired was the fact that Otto, as the head coach, just observed, stayed back, did not get involved, did not interfere with all that.
Okay.
Before that, the goalkeepers trainers also did their own work. But yesterday, when we had a conversation, we did indicate that, getting through the training sessions, whether I'll have any idea of who are likely to be the starters for Friday's game. I believe, God willing, tomorrow after the session, it will be obvious to me who are likely to be the starter. We're going to have a conversation about that tomorrow, God willing.
Right, the supercharger. Yeah, that's it. Now, baby, I know say player na or hit free kicks, no names, set pieces, no name. Why Jordan na?
It was Jordan who was how do you call it? So different angles. So they did a few of those set pieces from the corner kick, and Jordan was the one effecting it.
Okay.
And interestingly, you don't normally you find, especially from the corner kick, they are all into the 18. That is what I saw today. There were just a few balls high into the 18, but there were no balls also low, depending on what the drill that they had gone through. And then also from behind the 18, Jordan was defending it, but not direct free kicks towards the goal. It was all into the 18, but different angles to the 18 with players position themselves depending on how the kicks were being effected. Okay. And it was something, a spectacle to behold.
Writer, a spectacle to behold. No, or the bro back wash him. Writer, going forward, no, yeah, quite method, ne strategies, a be fast, a be effective kicks, no. Going forward, you ain't me, mamma, for mamma, you ain't me opinion to the public. A bedroom, you know, I say, yes, you.
But Sama, you should know that nobody was at a training session.
Okay.
Otto doesn't open its training to the members of the public. No, no. Behind closed doors.
At the tournament stage, you know. That's
the point I'm making, that I always close to the public.
Okay.
Close to journalists, close to the public. Okay. So it's not something that Obehu Ade Omoyena Wabeteki whatever. But everything is behind closed doors.
With the exclusive right, and also Ralph Randick and a manager the Austria national team. Now, so a German train. Otto and Randick, they say, and Shadanya, you may be a bad news. So, we are German for.
Quite interesting. As we watched our training session, somebody drew my attention to the fact that there were 3 languages on the field of play. Because quite a number of the players, a few of them spoke French, a few of them spoke German, and a few of them spoke English. So multicultural. But at the end of the day, some of my views about coaching are a little controversial. I don't hold the normal view as everybody holds. My view about coaching is that the coach will do whatever he has to do. It's important regarding his team selection. It's important regarding how he deploys his team and what system he has in play. At the end of the day, the players on the field of play determines what happens. If on a good day a player kicks a free kick and he goes straight to the net, the coach is meant to look very good. If on another day they have a penalty and the regular taker flouts the lines, the coach is meant to look very bad. So the coach will do whatever they have to do, but that's important to the extent that they have to get their selection right. So for a team like Ghana's team, where everybody is playing so well as we speak at training sessions, the coach would have to strain his brain and to understand who would make his final 11. Now, the difficulty for a number of the coaches is that there are some of the players who excel at training sessions, but not necessarily excel in matches. And there are others who may be unconvincing during training sessions, but in the real match, they're extraordinary. And I'll give you a classic example. I had the privilege of joining the team for Madagascar when we played against Madagascar away. And I realized that the manager of the side had dropped Kudus Mohammed. And I was shocked. And the reason I was shocked was that I knew that Kudus was our talisman. I mean, he was the heartbeat of the team. And the coach had dropped him. I saw him training with the reserve side. And I was with the vice president of the FA, Maccabi, and I remember complaining to him. So Kudus was kept on the bench and brought into the match a few minutes to the end of the game. So after the game, I wanted the coach for him to explain to me, and his explanation was that he wasn't convinced about Kudus training a day before. And I was like, man, what is your talisman? You're not going to use one training session to judge it. So that is the difficulty many coaches have. There may be players, and when we're kids, we call those players training players. So a coach or a manager has a difficulty having that sense of discernment to know that there may be certain players who will not necessarily do the full work during training sessions, but in matches, they are excellent. You know, on the international scene, players like Romario, players like Ronaldinho were not excellent during training sessions, but in real matches, they were always the best players. So I guess that would be one of the difficulties maybe Otto may be facing, because from training, everybody's playing so well. But since Thibaut is just a workaholic, absolutely incredible. Thomas Partey may not have the physicality, but his passing is absolutely brilliant. It's going to be difficult dropping someone like Alexander Chiku from the training sessions that I've had and from the games that we've seen him play. Brilliant. And yesterday I spoke about Patrick Pipe. I see his work rate and his height, and as I indicated, if this is the player who's going to live up to what I'm saying, is to be one of the key players for our team moving forward, as well as the Cone. Also very impressive during the training session. And a youngster who impressed us during the Four Nation tournament in England, Calum Yenchi, also at training sessions, is just superb. Now, if you check someone like Kamal Dean Suleimana, you have no idea the form he is displaying at the moment, as well as Fatau Ishaku. Brilliant. So every player is giving off his best. Okay. And I think if Otto has a problem, it will be how to settle on the first 11. And I'm praying that he gets it right. I'm praying.
Okay. Super. Ebeda ase yenya say nwum radio say o pe bibi na. They say there's when you bibi adi when you bibi adi.
We're fine, thank God. and Moye Ejuma, keep it up.
Right.
A number of the technical team, about 5 days ago, and then 3 days ago, some of the players started arriving. And then so the rest came. So a full house. The only absentees, Naki Williams, was an injury problem, as well as Brandon Thomas Asante, who also has an injury problem, and we all know about Kudus Mohammed. Apart from these three, everybody in camp. And today the team trained around 1:30 p.m. Austria time. And training was so hectic that as I watched the training session with the president of the FA, Kedo Kreku, he kept telling me that he felt Boadu would have a major problem. I didn't understand why he was saying that. And he repeatedly stressed that I think Otto is going to have a big problem. And I said, I didn't understand. And I can't tell you the conversation he had with Otto after the match. That is confidential. But the bottom line is that, and why he stressed that point was that training was so hectic, all the players were so active in terms of their technical ability, in terms of their physicality, in terms of their height, in terms of their commitment, that he felt Otto was going to have problems even settling on his first level. That's how active they have been. And I remember remarking to one of the technical people that I know that players, almost committed, fully committed, because they know what's ahead of them. It's not just the friendlies against Austria and Germany. They know that this is the final leg of their preparation for the World Cup. And which player in the world would not want to shine on the biggest stage of world football? That's the pinnacle of world football, which is the World Cup. So everybody is so focused. Someone today had to be present to watch the training session. It was so active, and every single player gave up his best. I'm sure we need Omar will come there, but let me quickly go through Omar training today.
Super
That's right. So Benjamin Asari, they all had alternatives. So Benjamin Asari kept the post at the early stages of our training session, and then later on Atizigi also came, and then Joseph and Antete. And then this guy who plays for Darmstadt, Patrick Pfeiffer, his height, I'm praying that he lives up to expectation. If indeed what I saw of him, anything to go by, he should be of great assistance to the Black Stars. I really like his physicality. I like his height. I like his ball control. And I was extremely delighted. As well as Jerry Glaston. And then at the Kuhn, he's the gentleman who plays for Union Berlin. And Jeremy Poko has been around for some time. The first time I saw Jeremy Poko was against the United States of America, I think about 2-3 years ago. He didn't have a very, very good game, but Otto has kept faith with him. He's been a consistent part of his team for some time now. And then Caleb Yuenchi was a revelation who would play in the Four-Nation tournament in England, if you remember last year. The game against Trinidad and Tobago and against Nigeria, he was absolutely brilliant. And then today we also have the likes of Jonas Ajitete, as well as Marvin Stura, Elisha, who's an old warrior in the team, Suleimana Kwesisimo, strong indeed, and the captain of the side, Jordan Ayo, and then Prince Kwabena Yeboah and Christopher Vabonsu. Fatai Shaku was all present. Antoine Samanya trained briefly with the team. Now, because of the fact that he's been so active with City, who just won the Carabao Cup against Arsenal, so he wasn't allowed to take part in the full session. He trained all right, but not with the full team. Kamal Din Suleimana was also there, as well as Daniel Ajay. Thomas Partey also trained fully with the team. Jiku arrived very, very late, but he also trained with the team, as well as Kojo Pepra Opong. So this was the squad that trained today. And I must say that the atmosphere in camp is absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Okay. Therefore, your boss, the supercharger Kwabena Yeboah, and I can come off from Austria and Montenso. Now, Suba, squad ne training no. Thomas Tay party din ama kojo pompe prade ne nim se unya injury kakra bet weekend you betina bench
before you proceed I mentioned Thomas Partey. Maybe you didn't hear it correct.
Okay, so Partey next so far runs for the Yeboah the wanya late call up no ono mantini.
Yeah. Great. You know, it's interesting. He was part of the team. And when I met him in the corridor before we attended the training session, I can't say, I always remember him because his maiden call-up to the Black Stars, Menino, and a share of Paris. And the past picked us from Paris to the team. That was when the team, prepared for some training games against Switzerland and against Brazil. That was the first time he joined the team. So I remember him very well. I reminded him of his first call-up. So we had a good time. So only the latest call-up, late addition, because of the absence of Thomas Asante.
Okay. Right now, Patrick Pfeiffer say, and who hope he obey live up to expectations because Koya obey a great addition the Amaye team no. Sana ya na ni Togo airplane hono and over any training or to say or with huge potential biana.
You know, to be very, very honest, I didn't know much about him. So today at the training session, I paid very, very keen attention on him. He played on the right side of Timana Owomino. And I realized that I was watching his sense of positioning. Every time his team had the ball, the way he ran into spaces, the way he handled the ball, his passing ability was great. So I paid good attention to him. But I need to watch him again, hopefully tomorrow when we attend training sessions. But the little I saw of him portrayed a player, also a physical presence and our pace. And again, I really, really love his sense of positioning. He was always running into pieces, avoiding his markers, and I was impressed with what I saw. So I'm not surprised at all that the president of the side felt that Otto is going to have a problem settling on his first 11.
Right there. So Otto Benya problem headache with the first 11. Now, wow, where's Uncle Moya KTD no kudus. No, this guy, Salisu, no Inaki, with this team now still.
Yeah.
Kedokreku can say, Otobenya headache. Ufuza Grobin would do where one answered, dear Namane Casa. Right, because Team Weber Mamma for headache, no, yet Team Wiana. Wow, from your personal perspective, as our boss and Obi our dispose nature action. Teams a man coach's headache and a bini team.
I think Okasa Okano from also the angle said these are not household names. I would excuse you and whoever thinks like that say these are not household names that will roll off the tongues of followers of the game and of journalists. So it will be very difficult for you to really appreciate, say, these are good materials. My only worry would be the issue of cohesion. Because, to be honest with you, we can bring together a group of talented individuals. But if they haven't played together for some time, football is a team effort. It's not about individuals. So for a team that has not played together before, or that has not played together for a long period, yet difficult for the team to really gel. So on a day, individually, they may excel. So when Ed talks about the fact that the coach may have problems even picking his team, and because of the level of commitment, level of technical ability, of the players who are available at the training session. And you raised a fantastic point. the fact that this is a team, Kudus is not even part of the team. As we speak, Thomas Partey is still struggling with his condition in terms of his physical presence. Now he's using a lot of experience in terms of his passing ability. There is no player in the team who passes better than Partey. And before he gets the ball, he's already surveyed the pitch and he knows precisely where the ball is going. But I think what he would be lacking right now, one, is his pace. Two, the fact that he doesn't go into the hard tackles. So if you get a neutral coach, for instance, who is not going to depend on his vast experience and is just looking at the condition of the players, you'll be surprised that manager would omit even Partey from the training sessions that these boys are having. As I indicated, football is a very, very funny game. And Austria, only a very small country, but it's going to be a very, very tough game for Ghana because we had a conversation and we were talking about David Alaba.
Yeah.
He is their most iconic player. And this is a player who has won the Austrian Footballer of the Year 10 times. So it tells you his pedigree. And he played for some of the most fashionable teams around the world. But outside him, if you check the materials they have, someone like Marcel Sabitzer, who plays for Dortmund, and as well as Konrad Laimer, who plays for Leipzig, the 2025 Footballer of the Year, as well as Christopher Parmaga, and we all know Kevin Danso, the Ghanaian who has decided to play for Austria, who now play for Tottenham Hotspur. And I think the most experienced of the side, outside Alaba, is Marko Arnautovic, who now plays for Inter Milan. So this is a team that I do not think that would come in easy, despite the fact that Omania, one of the top teams in Europe. Having said that, this is a team that is ranked 24 in the world. So it's not bad at all. Yeah. They may not be one of the fashionable sides in the world, but FIFA's ranking, they're 24 as against 72 by Ghana. So, from a Ghanaian perspective, it's like, Austria is not like Germany, Austria is not like Argentina, Austria is not like England. But don't forget, they are ranked 24 in the world. Ghana is ranked 72 in the world. And that is unbelievable. And England, who would be in a group, they are ranked number 4 in the world. Even Panama, who many, many people believe will be the equipping boys in our team, all being equal, only ranked 33. So I know that it is not going to be easy at all for Ghana. But don't forget that a number of these boys who have been called into the team, quite the mixture of the old and the new. What is ahead of them is the work. And everybody is so determined. Those who are not even establishing their team know what they stand to gain if they excel on the world stage. And I guess there's a reason we're seeing so much commitment on the part of the boys in camp at the moment.
Okay.
I can only hope that on the day when they play against Austria, we will see that kind of cohesion. In terms of the midfield, Summer, today what I saw, it was very, very, very active. What I found missing in today's training was the fact that there wasn't a lot of shooting from the attackers. I didn't find a lot of shooting, getting on target. And that is what, for me, is very, very important in modern football. You can do all the work in midfield, but if you're not finishing, and if you're not finishing clinically, it's called zero. So I'm just hoping that tomorrow, Otto will take a look at that aspect of the game and try and use the limited time at their disposal to see how it can improve upon their finishing. And let's see what happens on the 27th.
Okay. The writer, Ebeda see say they are koso Austria Black Stars company numre the icon wa bonnet tofa de amaye no. Ye bedin komo ye nini nyina ne some match ne 27 dem say be Friday ho baby. Eti ye be koso an ye din komo nim say ben na no wa betimi amaye the probables betimi a start say Benjamin Asare ye likely so be fa push na yebedi hon komo the likely pair central defense pair na ye laterals nso sana ya best start ne ade and attack, right? On say you cry one record going into the World Cup for the whole continent, not Ghana. Goals are a striker the actual net at the world level. Some wajan. Enti you call World Cup no na ya nya de cry no. You Obia I saw the ball to net at the Maya na Okipu sa record. Meaning say the reason Coach Boadu afre Prince Owusu and afe Daniel J na on share Daniel Ghana ni ukra English passport na afre no bo Makukale Sport in Turkey no. Two players nene omuye bibi ma ohun ya na omuye target man ankasa sankrofo no.
If the answer is no, because as I indicated in the earlier report, the finishing wasn't clinical. There was too much emphasis on midfield, or a lot of the attention on midfield. I'm not too sure whether because of the brilliant defensive play from the players today, the extent to which they marked their targets, but they played them out completely. So we didn't see a lot of shooting in today's game, and we didn't see a lot of balls on target. Indeed, there was one excellent action from Fatau Shaku, and Atizigi was absolutely brilliant. The way he parried the ball over the bar, it was brilliant. So for me, goal was significant. The significant strike on goal was from Shaku today.
Okay, Suba, where the Mayenya na me was an Kodabi so I'm saying komo we na discussing akorabi aba mu training grounds wo no so be pede.
Some football is crazy. Football is crazy. People love football. You know, this is a kid who would be, I think, around 6-7 years, and a personal appearance so much by a Manchester City supporter and or the Manchester City jersey about training session. Say, Antoine Semenyo, a sign at the end of Mano. So, waiting over and over and over, and then when the team came, unfortunately, he was on the wrong side of the fence. You know what the team is training right now? Omo FA complex. It's like in Ghana, Prapra. So they have their offices there, the complex, and they have 6 excellent pitches there. Aklano could get the wrong side, so he couldn't enter the inner perimeter. So unfortunately, because when Timmy enter to get a signature of Semenyo, Aklano insisted that the parents should wait. And they waited and waited. The boys spent over 4 hours today and waited, and eventually, when training was over, I think Henry Asante elected Semenyo, who gladly and gleefully ran to the boy and put smiles on his face by signing the jersey for him and took pictures with him. And I'm sure today the boys, they will be completely made. I was so touched. So touched.
If I judge on your Facebook, Frala Isuni, Akodana, the writer, Kana Semno. Ono ene daso na koda ketu akra Bruni pa o se o support Manchester City no hu Semenyo a onko to o maame mu don hore pole enan eno mu ko gina ho ano mu twen kopem se mu wie training na onya Semenyo a o sama hu se Kama Dean of Atlanta nso e de ne ko aba no be so hu Kama nso ana.
You know, tap or call Kamal Chom was no. So when Kamal do oninu chop picture, and then the father called the name of Kamal, said, Kamal, we want to take a picture with you. And I remember screaming, said, whoa, you also know Kamal Dean.
I see.
It means that I'm a footballing family. So Kamal Dean also wanted to take the photograph with them.
Okay. Good. Right away, na omo pram ni pram you who you're around ho.
Summer, you're always caught in trouble.
Where is that trouble, right? Somewhere obo pram as speeches in the way who sit here. Ubi call run or yere. Any idea? Say ye become one writer. We need a lot of money. We need a lot of support. We should get there because what we witnessed today, I'm sure everybody was so impressed. And I remember having a conversation with my very good friend, Kata, who is a member of the executive team. And we're all in agreement. So we really need to improve because
look, as they were training over the 6 pitches, as we were training, in fact, yesterday they trained on one, today they trained on a different pitch, and then as we were training today, there were workmen putting the other pitches in order, although there was nobody there. So it's about maintenance. Constantly, these pitches are maintained to the highest level, and they have mixtures there. So they have the natural grass, and they have the astroturf, and you need to see the kind of astroturf they have here. So quite a mixture of 6, 7 pitches, big pitches, and the office complexes there. You need to witness this. I don't need to tell you. And don't forget that Vienna is a very small city. It's a very, very small city. It's a city of only 2.9 million people. It's not a big city. In fact, Kumasi is more populous than Vienna.
Yeah.
But the quality we have here is unbelievable. Austria itself is not a very big country. It's a country of just around 9 million people, 9+ million people. You know, Accra alone has a population of 5.6 million. So it's a very small country, but it's such quality. It's unbelievable. Very serene atmosphere. It is not the kind of boisterous city you see when you go to places like London or New York or Cairo. This is relatively quiet, except the city center, which has a lot of activity. Otherwise, it's a very quiet city of very, very decent buildings and infrastructure. And I was very, very impressed with what I saw today. And Vienna being the cultural, economic, and political center of Austria, and is the 5th largest city by population in the European Union. So we're looking forward to a very good day. And also today, quite a number of the Austrian fans came to the hotel, tried to mix up with some of the Ghanaians there. Quite a number of Ghanaians have started coming in. I'm hoping that on the 27th, we'll see quite a huge presence of the Ghanaian community here.
Okay. Right, I ever down see say enough from cry say Ibenya na yenu achuchen komosa. I appreciate 2 time ni I do promise before you go off. I do promise. I believe in loyalty. I believe in commitment. You have been an amazing brother over the years. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to Angel. And as long as I stay here, I would ensure that whatever news item worthy of putting out in the public domain, I will share with you throughout the training session, throughout the match itself, until we finish the game against Germany. That is a promise I'm making. Okay. Super. That's a bomb pa say there be a Jinahosa my kwana se me hu kampiski na ano papa hu sa na ni age ti yenso ye dase wa ye do hwa ye hu.
God bless everybody, summer.
Okay. Super. Kwabena Yeboah, the writer, and Nachin Komunti. And you may the Kosovo Austria Black Stars Camp Biano. Wabone Tofa. Eti Ebeko Akoda Street in so. Mom pesa mo or TikTok Ebeko YouTube and Facebook. Ya the better one more nyabuten moti and Komopini Eddie. Black Stars team no full house. Yes, Konindorf Akura unya late call up, and according to the writer we drew by training na wanye because your pompe praba and also writer chechi muka krani adia training no say intense na ketokraku also to adu tibe ne ya say selection or bebre pass nani
performance no mu show nti
aha heard the way ade ni si corner dia
bi anya bre for position
bi anya bre nti sanity luga
na ara na say
we dem no na chance yo ha
say wo sire
oh I am sire say
oh Debbie I was say
be ma head the ya na wo ho
no but I was say for the benefit of the doubt the ten say Black Stars of yesterday and just say the Black Stars no enti obi a onim Black Stars e twem no kan bi no
wanya kan ya say
na one share trainings ahodo ne quality say wo no
kan ya say
ene do hu we no na ni age ho san pese me kire no
enye kan ya say kan ne so akọ akiri
na say akọ me ka ACM kra na say mu
di ama men kan say mencho it's not a recently Chelsea team na omuhihye ya omode kobo World Club Championship enye some years recent that team that time no immediately after World Club Championship no so catch them say coach no on Maresca benya headache with the set na I would agree with you but what you say but see as catch them say Chelsea team here whoever team chine load ni o catch them say so mu ye training na obenya headache as a me fan some ways as a obeso twe now obeso my confidence be exist so don't me person obeko kane no even qualifiers no Semenyo Kudus Inaki Jordan Salisu Jiku Pate Satan na Pate nya issues be say because all oboka kra why be Sibu kwesi Sibu kra de nansi anu obe
na yirenchi de right back
yirenchi mu de se kwa ya for we fan sa na tizigine na we nsunyanya sa time no omu ye training no kwa na so wo ni team bi dada omobo me ba cho what you say enti no ka se bi a headache beba won ya na yi kakra but we no as afa no obi e be prefer position
na no headache ne kwa say list of boys so mo an ebo
no kwa wu say headache
wo bench na wu obi a hote ho
say mako so cat ka say headache wo no fa ne say so to adu benya headache ho na mbese ye hwe ne hu adwempo a cat de cancer na fa ye nyina ye fa sa line na ye hu say ne bi ye team no ye ne ye hu ne sa adwempo be na cat de kan ya ye hu na me buza mu je
okay me sad ne say on based on performance I assure mo club side and I said to me who's headache bia o team we mu but maybe because of the World Cup and they are preaching into be a sort of fight for position e be a World Cup on selection wise call up and cry be o mama because of injury say Kudus mam mai e dey no beton before the World Cup Inaki wa mai injury into wa ma some key two bu ma omeba so e be a don me share the intensity of the road training him no and the way many abre some kind of squad the World Cup on home and maybe on my coach headache say performance ya ishaku then a D man say when you the Lord ahead of 1-2 players be me share on that score say obia person of fighting for so beko World Cup be so on that score no I understand
headache
for me but say be a performance ya mo ensure kire so obia performance ya at par the coach ni who they also funny don't I would disagree because
maybe me say be a prepare and I say players ne be brain so hunu omu ye ebia na caretaker na abrantias here because say who best player Kudus wepra or Salisu best defender and also Nejiku Envansa wo de Envansa wo mapra say esa afena say na make say squad amanfo anemu 90% kobo work we Brazil set we Argentina set we England setter utmu say yes coach omu kwa kobo ba yen de no me say omu edu mu kwekura no anhwe ya nkofo bebre wo after we ni e be say you mafrim
fat
unim sa bet me a jibe 6 players and the free wa brand can you can say is at this time oh last friendly matches
last days
afa na wa free 4 players omu ye debutants omu testy ade ni bi da wa free omu the probability say am far you bet me a squad here ko ya you bet me a jini pa be 7 every squad no high
yeah
ya me via na sa dwen no na bi ekun oto amani tipai no
those 4 points
maybe they no yeah headache no even classroom players students ma born cramp no uyi be I represent class na still na be headache go bia anya de nti why na minyi nimfa nko no nko compete with 2A and 2B e bia ye 2D nti ye competition ye na the whole school nim say abonfo na won mutie wu no omu na odi say head my teacher na eji ama ebia ko represent ko gina quiz amount 2A 2B 2C obenya headache because ye na nya de ntino hwan pa na menya di jo me se medene ko
It's another headache.
Yeah, it's
headache. You say cat tree.
Yeah, new headache crow. So
okay,
no,
Matthias, Bago.
Yeah, me.
As a GDA head and the horse out.
Yeah,
just some matches with me.
Yeah, sure.
And Ukrainian me enemy. The writer say why head there who shot on target.
Yeah,
and they a big problem. O say shaku na boba kubi.
And look at me, the man is here for
Facebook.
Yeah,
skills
antics be on different shoot 2 years as a tornado na come there. Oh, no bad but headache no. I'm not surprised I can't take us because last week because she a president no. The way I will see a share president in Ukraine say man penny World Cup ni there. Ghana ye ko TNM. So what you say? And it's a training ground first day. Or the catch Ghana for say selection and I say coach with one headache per place or camper. Me I'm not surprised. Say or Kasa. Yes. That's
one of the informed guys.
Yeah. In terms of shooting in the accuracy level also.
But she go at it.
And the accuracy level also.
She go about 3 weeks ni.
Ket there from day one. Oma Ghana for we say World Cup ni be yade.
Short nini.
But don't say also Ojesa and a setty and we are.
Or the chef Benjamin Azari. No, but was right as all Boba about Tizgi.
Oh, okay. We're different.
We're different.
We're very different. Yeah. Don't Ket there or my Ghana for hope I was through. Men person make us say false hope, but make us say unlimited expectations. No, am I Ghana for? Because say the year king, I think on the year also players need be away. Say the year here from one, omit my yama na players be on more. They are doing well at their clubs, but playing for your club and the national team no obi him say two different things. Even Semenyo as at now, or the best player in the Premier League, you know. Still now. Ontimi Magana for nya ne feel pa in the Black Stars. I think you say training under Pep Guardiola no obeye a new Semenyo Amagana for na. Nti don your team no Gigi Ewom no and say some time ago now ubetimi kra akata onia bo players be e bia 9 unum so mo start here e mo din. Oh by na ntisa nti we hope say no be koye. But I think you can no see any uti right and come on or say Patrick Feifa or mananya Gigi kakra say ne ball control ne nyoma be right announcing and yaje ho.
Yeah.
He say swag president and yaje ho dia. Then I'm tempted to believe say Abrante ne born home then. And one day wonder I was say a twatwa so consistent performance. Say the on Friday no players best start or more be free bench up but I see who the Obia de Maye and the other World Cup no. I was see it me. So against by emo Germany game you know. Now I was see a clear idea of say the team no be.
Okay. Sana ya idea na as a Jeff ne common no right and share that ntimi an kan say do kan 5 there.
Yeah, when ntimi an supi.
Sana ya there.
Yeah, when ntimi an supi. Now say ni position
ne. Jesus akofa ya lead do sa.
Yeah, o say ni position there na office say you good because ojira ye for ball any other there. But don't my catch say on Thursday and on Friday now ni ha. On Ketokreku ne nkomo na odi no abra ne GC free Ghana for metimi aboa me World Cup no. Ne ina o say ne nkranse no. Ghana for enim dada wo. Ye enim say ye team no. O ya World Cup ye ko ya. Even though say born US Ghana for nyakomeko, but Ghana for the confidence e betimi akoma bia. Unlike other 2 World Cups no. The first and second one. Ghana air coin to 2006. Na Ghana for now GDA even though say first World Cup. Ni o GDA say you be free group on him because ni o players at that time no more board the highest or more board top flight or more minutes or more board strikers 8 goals defenders 8 defend your safest pro fans your midfielders are on a good day o meet my adwuma no enti Ghana in 2006 ni o GDA say group ayakotom the likes of US the likes of Czech Republic any Italy. You will not qualify for group rim. Of course, you qualify. In 2010, near say confident because we say your players are at that time near them quite cap no be able go, or be able game, or be a performance no solid. And any doubt be but wake up when Ghana for now in doubt. Obia this obia on shabo
nani se on kansa anko
and now new football me game
oh masa wono nya adwen jesu onim
so we said there now person say unim game
nani se o GDC e be qualify ntina be say onaro we na enye ni general say obia
most of Ghanaians because they play for player performance they room to national team and for the matter in the tournament in the tournament no ye kono and they bo US fooding you bought a UK fooding because players as you see almost no almost active football almost sell it now Brazil for squad abubo so your Brazil na tiachira your team we party this be a bit messy into kwenim and because of former players in wontia enti players we ekuta isi no don did any enter in hosa in 2010 don you call Serbia group Austria Germany. But still, it's me a quiet quarter finals or so. So, your team where there said didn't catch a catano, me catch us a fanfu. Or my penny, would you so no who advises on my advice so in football? Men didn't and for didn't question because a team wano, nam near Ukraine say, to two no ya, your group create me free because you were two experienced countries are or more Ghana group him. Omo na pick up na kwaji o wo wura group a omo na pick up na kwaji omo na wake up no organize no ama omo Croatia for any England for omo na some omo na wake up no abafo no organize o ene ekoso so enti ya tamu ya yirimu ya ebe de papa enti cat sa eno na kan say omo panyi wake up we che say ebe koye na ye ni Germany na enya match bia no opanyi you very careful na kwa jigu no mse bebrea asembe pe na besa kabiem isi wa catch right kana famam esa wo se coach bi na headache it is headache no na we my Friday fa super abayu to it is obey ndai what I say enti miamu bu ani wie ne hu de be koso oh ye ne e bon pass be ko animu but ye hwetim ne kutai na ena ye di areho ye mu staff technical staff no na no so didn't say any saa so inti dia but
okay
oh your players no money ba no and na ehu wom